Hey guys, and welcome to another workshop. We are going to be talking about our annual Alpines today. This one is quite an exciting one because it helps e-commerce brands not have those big lull periods that most brands do. Now, just to give you a quick outline of what we're going to be covering today, introducing the annual Alpines and what they are, we're going to kind of show you a little bit more in depth on what those things are. 3 ways to create your peak throughout the year, and a little bit of a bonus checklist just to actually help you make sure that you've executed and taken action on the things that you need to throughout the year. And of course, next steps for implementing this. So let's just dig into it. So quick intro. My name is Ben. I'm one of the core facilitators at E-commerce Explorer and Willac Media, and I love to help e-commerce brands scale. We've helped over 100 e-commerce brands in 2023 scale their e-commerce brands profitably. The big thing is profit. We really don't care so much about the in-platform metrics and what the ROAS is because we've had quite contradictory things to what normal agency style businesses tell you, such as you need a high ROAS in order to get a high result. We've had low ROAS and high profitability, and we've made business owners a heck of a lot more money because we're reading the metrics that matter. So the annual Alpines is actually just a core or one piece to what we do inside of our training, and we wanted to give that to you for free today just to give you a bit more context on how this works. So the core problem that most Australian brands bump into is that they're running into the year, and this is the store kind of curvature that they see throughout the year. Of course, end of financial year, you've got this big period when you're making a decent chunk of change. A lot of people are doing their shopping due to tax time and what. Next is the Black Friday season. Of course, everybody gets a good Black Friday if you have a good strategy. If you need a Black Friday strategy or end of financial year one, we release our quarterly plans as well. So keep an eye out. If you don't have them, feel free to reach out and we'll send you the one that's relevant for the time of year that we're in. But yeah, these 2 years are typically where your businesses are going to see the biggest upticks. The only issue that is with this is that when you have no plan of attack for these low periods, you end up having a really big struggle with making sales. And it almost feels like you're riding a metaphorical roller coaster throughout the year. So when you're needing to outlay cash for inventory and marketing spend during these low periods, it really hurts the profitability. It's almost like a post-sale hangover that you're having because you had this big high over Black Friday or end of financial year and it comes crashing back down. Usually returning customers drop massively after post-sale because you've squeezed that sponge dry, all the people that are in your ecosystem right now, and these existing customers might not come back for a little bit while longer. They'll probably wait for another sale as well. Makes for low ad performance, and it really makes it a little bit more difficult, and it forces you to kind of under order on the product that you actually need in order to stimulate during those periods and restock into those higher periods that you have. So what you need to create is at least 4 Alpines, as we call them, or the 4 peaks, the mountain range of consistent sales throughout the year. So this is what this looks like. So when we're talking to e-commerce brand, we don't want to just focus on end of financial and Black Friday like everybody else. We actually want to try and create different periods throughout the year to stimulate some sales and actually help you make more money during these low periods. So instead of being a low period here and here, we're actually making sure that we're taking advantage of these Alpines here, Alpine and Alpine. So let me just quickly run into the 3 ways we create the Alpines, or the 3 strategies, so to speak, that we use in order to help stimulate more growth. So the first one is boulders. So keep in mind, every brand is a little bit different based on the times of years that they can activate, but more or less you can just activate in those seasons and those big boulder seasons, the 30% plus average monthly revenue and those peaks. So when we're looking at the boulders, those are the 4 that we prefer: is Valentine's Day, end of financial year, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Black Friday, Xmas, holidays. So just quickly showing you like the boulders, or that period when revenue is up quite aggressively. Just here, this is one of the Black Friday / December seasons that you can see those big peaks coming in during Black Friday and usually during Boxing Day there as well. Big advantage to be keying into that. Some people are like, I don't do Black Friday. It's not necessarily that you have to do heavy discounting, you can do it very strategic, make it look like you're offering a lot, but then you end up having those customers coming in and buying from you. So we want to make sure that it's a compelling offer that we're putting together, not always a massive discount, because we want to keep profitability high. That's always the background narrative here when we're talking. So now that we've identified those boulders, we really want to identify that problem that still outlays, that one which shows your sales still dipping through those periods where you need to outlay cash for the coming peak season, those big boulders. And what ends up happening is we need to find a different way to stimulate audiences throughout the year that aren't inside of those big boulders. So what do? We actually manufacture some peaks. And when we say this, it's kind of like we're just injecting little drops or different kinds of a strategy to assist in growing the business through those smaller periods. So some of the ones that we like to look at is like your Amazon Prime Day. You got maybe a coming soon. We do brand birthdays. I've seen people just absolutely crush on their brand birthdays. Product drops, clearance sales, big giveaways, click frenzy, you name it. There's opportunities all over the place to kind of manufacture a peak instead of having to just rely on the bolder seasons. So when we're working on the manufactured peaks, we like to look at it from the 4 types. Number 1 is the drops that you can do. So you can do a product drop or a bundle drop. There's a lot of different ways that you can work on that. You can do a collaboration with another company or potentially influencer. There's a lot of different kind of things that you can stimulate there. Cultural events, so this is stuff like your brand birthday. And the last 2 are your cultural events and PR. So you can take a little bit more of an opportunity. Again, as I mentioned, the examples of these are like your birthday, brand birthday, product drops, clearance sales, click frenzies, giveaways, those kinds of things that you put in here. So a few kind of like just examples of this. So we got Miss Martha Stewart promoting Liquid Death, and this is just like this would be considered a collaboration. You'll see here with Georgia Stevenson from LSKD, that would be classified as like a collaboration. Or you can look at the Manscaped. They love doing 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and this is a product drop that they would be doing there. So keeping in mind there's a lot of different ways to kind of play with this. If you need some assistance in maybe going more in depth on what you could do for your particular brand, feel free to reach out and we can give you a bit of a hand there. A couple other ones. So here's like clearance examples where you're clearing out your warehouse, you're marking down products on your site that maybe you've got excess that aren't really selling. Especially in fashion, there's sometimes products that you maybe over leveraged on that you shouldn't have, and people just don't want to buy it. So you end up having to discount, get rid of, clearance stuff. So this is all clearance examples here. Next, the cultural events. So this is like the Christmas pack. You could do something around St. Paddy's Day. And you can also look at like a back to school for more of the cultural event styles. So those are a couple examples for you. But there's one thing that's very important on the month to month with what we do. And we like to call them pebbles. So the boulders are your big events, you're manufactured, you can kind of make up as you go. But the pebbles are the ones that you're doing on an ongoing basis to make sure that you're stimulating your marketplace. So I'm going to go through these 4, but these are a couple examples. I'll actually just kind of come back to these. But the idea is, if you ever heard of Gary Vee, he talks about jab, 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 right hook. This is where evergreen emails kind of come into play. All right, so breaking down the 4 pebbles, I'm just going to go through them really quick. So the product-based email first. This is kind of identifying your product and showing people a little bit more about it and highlighting the product. It's not necessarily geared towards trying to sell, but you always put a call to action in your emails, right? Next is an educational piece. So it could be something along the lines of education around your product or your niche, how to, top 5, product highlights, behind the scenes, that kind of thing. Next is a community engagement one. This is where you're trying to get your community to like come back to you with feedback or give you a little bit more insight on how they've used your product or what they enjoyed about the product. Get them to respond to that email or maybe engage with you on social media, something like that. It helps you build the community. Some of the strongest brands that we work with have a remarkable community interaction piece every single month, and they do it anywhere from 1 to 3 times a month through these pebble-based emails. And lastly, this is the right hook. So we're actually going to promotion based email together to help get a little bit of a sale. This is where giving an offer or you're driving some sort of return on revenue after you've laid out your little pebbles throughout the month. So again, this is that jab, 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 right hook. So we're going to get a little bit more out of those people, but not after we've given a little bit of value, so to speak. So if you found a little bit of value in this and you want our checklist, I'll quickly just flip over to my other screen here to show you a little bit more about the checklist. So this checklist actually goes through everything that I just talked about and when you should be, or which points you should be activating on. So as you follow through this training, if you want to replay it, you can actually check off the things that you've got. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, obviously those are our boulders. The weekly EDM newsletter, those are your pebbles. And this is just good to check off bi-yearly, your promotional periods. Product drop calendar. So if you have particular product drops that you want to drop, we really recommend kind of doing this quarterly if you want to do that. There's a lot of different kind of variation here, and it's really hard for us to say just do one thing. So you got to use a bit of your creative zest to make sure that you're doing this correctly. But if you have questions about it, that's why we're here. That's what we want to be able to assist you with, is going through this checklist and actually working with you. So after working with a lot of different e-commerce stores over the past 5 years, we've really learned that there are 3 core concepts or areas that e-commerce businesses need to focus on in order to succeed. So the first one is your promotional side of things. We call it promotional, but really this is your sales channels. Where do we go and fetch new customers and bring them back into your business? So this is things like Facebook, Google, different ads platforms, PR. How do we go out and get tentacles into the marketplace that we're playing? Next is the transactional side of things. So here, this is where something like the annual Alpines comes in, where we're learning how to transact with those customers in a more efficient manner. This is retention-based strategies, email-based strategies. A lot of this, what we just went through, is wrapped around email strategy. And of course, the last one is operations. So inside of the operation side of things is that profitability dashboard that we use, and it has helped over 100 e-commerce businesses scale their businesses profitably, and knowing exactly how much money they're putting back into their pocket or investing back into their business, which is also important. It really does make a difference when these 3 core areas are wrapped together in a tight-knit way to help you grow and develop. So where do we go from here? The last kind of step is, if you are wanting to take advantage of everything that we kind of go through in this training and maybe a little bit more, maybe you want to figure out how we could possibly work together, or maybe you just want a little bit more of the free training, feel free to book a free scale session with myself or my team. At the very least, we're going to provide a little bit of free value for you to take away and learn from us in order to get more out of your e-commerce business. Like I said, we've got our quarterly strategies that we launch every quarter, and we give those to our community to help make sure that they've got something solid. So as you can see with the boulder stuff that we just went through, those strategies are all wrapped around those key boulders, pebbles, and peaks, so to speak, throughout the year, in order to make sure that you and your e-commerce business get the most out of it. If we can continue to provide value to you guys and makes it look like we actually know what we're talking about, hopefully you come and work with us. And if not, that's completely cool. I hope you all the best in your businesses as you go, but feel free to book in with me, one of my team, and we'd be more than happy to help you out in going through that scale session. And we can go through the promotional, the operational, and the transactional stuff inside that genius model to go into more depth as to what we actually cover, because there's so much more to unpack than just one workshop and what I can cover here. So I look forward to chatting to you guys. I'll see you on the other side, and I hope you get a lot out of this training, and I hope that you download the annual checklist to get working on it and keep more people in your community and leverage a little bit more revenue throughout the year. All right. Have a good one, you guys. Thank you so much.